What's up, everybody? I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. Yeah! And I hope you're ready because we're going back into the world of what if. Worlds within worlds, as you could say. And this one's what if the Punisher had killed Spider-Man. Yes, what if Frank Castle had succeeded in his mission in murdering the wall crawler? Well, let's find out. We start off in an office, a college office, with Frank Castle holding a gun on someone, saying that he just wanted to end crime. He just wanted to put things right. But he's here, sitting across from a man he hates, a man that used him, a man that destroyed his mission, the man that hired him to kill Spider-Man. This Punisher recollects and thinks this man called the Jackal hired him to kill Spider-Man. He's very rich and said that he would fund the Punisher's war on crime if he just takes out this criminal, this menace known as Spider-Man. Frank Castle walks off saying that he needs to do research. He needs to think about his target and how he's going to approach it. As he sits, meditates on what he's going to do, focusing on the family that he lost and his new mission, his war on crime. As he goes to pick up ammunition, maximum damage, big bullets. As he looks at the newspapers, the Daily Bugle, saying Spider-Man, threat, menace. And all of his research seems to make sense. Whenever there's a crime boss, Spider-Man seems to be in it. He seems to be involved with the bad guys. And according to all the press, it seems to point to that direction. So Frank Castle takes gasoline and burns his house down, leaving behind the remnants of his family, the mausoleum of what was, and moving on to his future as a Punisher. As him and the Jackal talk, the Jackal is desperate to get rid of Spider-Man. As Punisher pulls his pistol and asks him who he is. He says he's an upstanding citizen that has to hide his identity, for it's frowned upon in his community. The Punisher takes this answer for now, but in the background he can see something out of the corner of his eye. He hears a girl crying, and he's wondering why. It gave him a sense of unease as he scales the water tower, waiting for Spider-Man, knowing that he always shows up around the Daily Bugle, wondering if it was a Torture Jameson or if he lived around that area. It didn't matter. He had him in his sights, and he fires and he misses. He misses again. How could he miss? He must have some kind of psychic sense. He's able to sense danger. This Punisher fires again and again, but he's discovered by Spider-Man as he runs. The Punisher barely able to get away in the crowd. Punisher must find a way around this. He must find a way to circumvent this psychic ability. But how? He must find a way to double blind it. And the Jackal suggests something malicious, evil, and yet genius in its own simple way. As Spider-Man patrols New York, he sees Dr. Octopus breaking into a building. Spider-Man, of course, goes to stop Dr. Octopus. He goes to investigate the crime and what's going on, but as he reaches down to Doc Ock, it's a dummy with a bunch of explosives. And I mean a ton of explosives. Now Punisher has to quickly push the button before his spider sense goes off. And boom! Was it overkill? Maybe. But he had to make sure that Spider-Man was dead so he could get paid, so he could collect his money and go on his mission. As Spider-Man is blown to smithereens, later on they find out his identity, that he was just a college kid named Peter Parker. No gang affiliations, no crime at all. He was just some kid. Punisher had been duped. As he bashes in, ready to take the Jackal's head, He is gone. He's been set up for the fall. As the police spring in, ready to capture this man, ready to bring this killer to justice, Punisher escapes, making a great effort not to kill any of the police officers, blowing up the cars instead, creating a distraction so he could disappear in the smoke and fire. But that won't be the end of the people hunting him. Spider-Man had a lot of friends in the superhero community. Where the papers thought he was a villain, the superheroes knew the truth. And they attacked Punisher, coming after him. Punisher barely escaping each time. But the superheroes keep getting bigger. And he finds out that he's out of his fighting class. That he can't compete with all these do-gooders. And he found out how wrong he really was. Each time the Punisher barely escaping, hiding out. But someone finds him, the Vulture, as well as Spider-Man's other enemies, and they bring him to a party to celebrate the death of Spider-Man. As if killing this kid was something good. But the Punisher takes a negative and turns it into a positive by killing everyone in that room and pulling a pistol out and killing the Vulture, saving him for last. Sometimes it's good to be the Punisher, as he's hiding out in a hotel, hiding from everyone, wondering what he's going to do next, until he hears a voice on the television talking about young Peter Parker and how he'll be missed. And he recognizes the voice, which brings him here and now, sitting, talking to the man that he knows as the Jackal, but is really a professor, Miles Warren. And he didn't do it because he was a crime boss. He did it because he was obsessed with Spider-Man's girlfriend, Gwen Stacy. He wanted to have her all to himself. As the cops come busting in, saying they'll shoot Castle if he shoots Professor Warren, the Punisher, knowing that his mission is going to come to an end, at least he could take one more soul with him to hell. As he looks at the Jackal and says, "See you on the other side." And then blink in black is the last thing the Jackal sees, along with Punisher's smiling face. And I'm Jack Slater, and as always, I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah.